Against the backdrop of a Colorado conservation center, the romance of the century is about to unfold. In 2022, researchers will attempt to breed Elizabeth Ann, the world's first cloned black-footed ferret, with a captive male. If successful, their offspring will infuse the critically endangered species with a splash of genetic diversity. Cloning for the sake of conservation isn't unique to black-footed ferrets. Another endangered species clone is a Przewalski's horse named Kurt, but Kurt isn't yet ready for breeding. And other earlier clones of Banteng and Gaur were essentially proofs of concept. They were never bred, limiting their genetic relevance. A lack of genetic diversity is a big problem in re-establishing a species population. If captive animals are too closely related, they're at risk of inbreeding. That can hobble their reproductive fitness, stymieing family trees. Cloning can help bypass this problem, bringing into play a more genetically distant relative to breed with animals already in captivity. In Elizabeth Ann's case, scientists took cells grown from a skin sample of a long-deceased black-footed ferret, preserved in test tubes at the San Diego Frozen Zoo, to craft an embryo, then transferred it to a domestic ferret that brought the embryo to term. This process, somatic cell nuclear transfer, has been used for decades to duplicate livestock and pets. Cloning for conservation, meanwhile, has been on the back burner for a few reasons. Breeding practices are less developed for species in need of conservation, and there's less commercial interest in maintaining endangered animals. Also, cloning for conservation has a tricky endgame. To keep a species as genetically pure as possible, biologists prefer the clone's family tree contain only the genes of the endangered species. Animals cloned by somatic cell nuclear transfer still carry their domestic mother's mitochondrial DNA. This means the offspring of a cloned animal, such as Elizabeth Ann, stand to bring domestic genes into the endangered population. But because mitochondrial DNA is inherited from an animal's mother, these domestic genes can be ferreted out by breeding the male offspring of clones with captive females. If successful, the process could make an endangered population more resilient and eventually lead to self-sustained growth. Just over a month removed from her first birthday, Elizabeth Ann remains a marvel in her own right. If she finds her captive male suitor to be just as marvelous, their once-in-a-lifetime romance could propel their species for lifetimes to come.